Good morning, Franziska. We are here for an exclusive Temporis interview with Franziska Gsell, which is the Chief Marketing Officer of IWC, which is one of the companies exhibiting online today in the Watch and Wonders, which is practically the first big thing happening in our watch industry. I will do this interview with Dragos, which is my colleague in Temporis. And Franziska, allow me to start with exactly the moment we are traveling. So we are really facing a very unprecedented crisis. And I will ask you, what are the challenges of this crisis? How does marketing help the brand to maintain the awareness in difficult times?
I think the most important is safe and healthy for our employees, for our partners, for our customers. I think this is by far the most important, which we all face and which we all prioritize at the moment. If you look just at my background, I have the Time Well Shared up. So this is an initiative we just started when we were all asked to go into the lockdown. And I think this is what we can contribute it as a luxury watch, that we said, we have so many great stories to tell. We have so many great partnerships, so many great ambassadors, so many great people just in our network, which we can give a voice, you know, that people outside of the network can connect with us and learn something new, follow someone, you know, in his career, having a webinar in an area which they might have never had before. So that is the initiative behind Time Well Shared, where we have, for instance, Tom Brady, the greatest of all time quarterbacks, you know, explaining his career, explaining his steps, explaining his successes, but everything all his failures as well. And I think this is quite human, you know, the insights we can get from those people we have in our network. Another initiative within Time Well Shared is then that we, for instance, read Le Petit Prince, the beautiful book of Saint-Exupéry, and that our talents around the globe in different languages are reading it to us, to the adults, but also to the children. And I think that's very nice. On the other hand, we started a cooperation with the Good Tutor Finder, which is a Swiss startup, which provides schooling for students in general, but in this time, which is quite important now. And we offer now, as IWC employees, our time as well to do some private lessons for students, to even help parents, you know, in these times, that they have a bit more time for themselves, or their work they have to do, and help them to school the children. And I think that's a very nice initiative. We partner with Save the Children, which have a dedicated program for COVID-19 parents, families, and children, to support them. And I think that's all in a very nice contribution we can do in this time.
Dragos?
Yeah, how you define sustainability at IWC? Which are the key pillars of IWC sustainability?
I think most important when we talk about sustainability is that it comes really from your heart, and that you feel the need to do it, and we really do that. And we established quite early this sustainability committee, where we have all the different departments of IWC being together. We meet on a quarterly basis. We decide, you know, which targets we are aiming for, and then each department takes the targets in their areas up. And I think that's really important, that it is a journey. It's not just an initiative. That's a journey which is never accomplished, because you can always do more. But we decided 2 years ago to be super transparent. I mean, the first report we published was in 2016, and then 2018 was a milestone because it was on GRI standards, so the Global Reporting Initiative, which gives you full transparency of what we are doing. We said at the time that we have 8 targets, which we measure now. So the next report is just around the corner, where we then report towards the 8 goals we set for this cycle. And then we have for the new cycle, the new goals. So I'm happy to say that we achieved out of the 8, 7. One we have not achieved, which is ladies in management positions, where we said we would like to double. That was in the baseline was 2017, where we had 11%. So we wanted to be at 22%. We achieved 18, which means that this goal will be taken over into the next cycle. So when we talk about what is sustainability, it's an attitude. I mean, you really have to embrace it in each different field. Of course, it's the entire supply chain. Of course, you want to know as a customer, you know, what goes into that watch and that everything is certified. And this is what we are transparently showing. But then it goes in all the other fields as well, you know, into the boutiques, into the window displays, into events on the marketing side as well, where we really commit ourselves to be as sustainable as possible. So, I mean, this is important. But when you look at it in general, watches are lasting products, so we are per se sustainable. But then it comes into the responsibility section that you say, okay, but everything has to be sourced responsible as well, because we all know that this product sits forever on your wrist, and it's your companion in life, and you want to understand what went into that product. Hope I could answer.
Like a follow-up question, Franziska,
yeah.
is what kind of specific sustainability actions are you doing at IWC? And if these sustainability actions are going inside the watches, and what might be?
I mean, you might be aware that we are a partner of Responsible Jewelry Council since 2012. So we have our certification in that respect. So everything which is precious metal and precious stones is certified to the highest standard. We just achieved now the recertification in the new standard as well of 2019, just a couple of weeks ago. And we even aim now for more in precious metal, that we say there is a code of custody, that you really know all your suppliers, all their sub-suppliers are certified as well, so that at the end you can trace each component of your watch. I mean, this is the goal at the end. But in general, when we talk about the different fields of sustainability, it's regarding the entire supply chain, but then it's regarding employees, regarding community, regarding environment, and there we have the different initiatives in the different fields. So this is where we then always have new goals. For instance, that we said greenhouse emission, we would like to achieve 10% more, so we achieve that. So then we go into the next cycle that we even have a higher goal. So that's why I said it's so important that it is a journey, and that you go from cycle to cycle, because you cannot just say, okay, we are sustainable and everything is just done overnight. That's not the case.
One last question is regarding the marketing department and strategies. What kind of changes did you implement due to the crisis in the last month?
Yeah, as I said just before, I mean, most important is that you are really present on your digital channels now. I mean, it's the social media channels in Europe, the Western world, but even in China, very important. We always were really digital, so it is not, that we never did that before. So we just, push the bottom a bit stronger, to be really connected and to share the information which is needed. And what has changed as well is, of course, we are not really pushing into sales. I mean, when we ever did it, I mean, this is not the moment in time, but it is the moment in time to share information. It's the moment in time to even talk about a new collection, to talk about what goes into that collection. And therefore the digital channels are great. I mean, because you have a real-time feedback, you have a real-time reaction, and you can stay connected. So that's what is super important. But as I said before, IWC was always super digital. That's why it is not such a big shift. For instance, we did last year with the launch of the longest flight, the Spitfire collection, we had this cooperation with Charles de Gaulle, the airport, and Facebook, that we did a live broadcasting of a physical event. So, I mean, these are things we always try on, you know, that we go for latest possibilities, and which is even more enabled. If you look at the website now, we have this virtual experience that the booth, which could not be physically built, you can experience just online, you know, that you browse through our booth and have different interaction angles with us through the virtual booth. We have augmented reality now as part of discovering our watch collection, which we just basically did then overnight. So we are quite agile when it comes to that, and we are not afraid to go for new tools. But this is a bit the DNA of IWC, I would say.
Thank you very much, Franziska, for the time for this interview, and wish you good luck in all your actions as a CMO of such a interesting and prolific company like IWC.
Thank you ever so much, and likewise, all the very best. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure. Bye.
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 Bye.